Welcome to Earth Angel channel, Divine Masculines. Today's topic is about energy, phantom, dark energy we are going to speak about. Now, from the point of abstraction, we are going to discuss energy, but before that we will look into the theory of energy. Energy is basically found in or it could be distinguished in two variations, that is luminous energy and dark energy. Now today we will pick up only one topic, that is dark energy. About luminous energy we will discuss again in the next recording. So for that, first we will define to ourselves what is dark energy. Now energy we all know is potential. What is the energy dimension? The dimensions in which energy could be termed or defined: vitality, we can call vigor, animation, liveliness, stamina, efficiency, application, vehemence. We can exertion, extended exertion, vehemence, endurance, vivacity also is there, intensity also, strength. It could relate to toughness also. And if we go for the antonyms of this, we would see idle, inactive, lethargic, tired and lazy characteristics of antonyms of these words. So you could note down these words. These are the key words. Of energy and its antonym. Now we're going to see the definition of dark energy. Phantom dark energy could be defined as energy where expansion seems to accelerate, and this acceleration increases over time. This leads to a big rip where expansion becomes infinitely fast and it tears galaxies, atoms and fabric of space-time apart. So this tearing apart of galaxies take place because of this acceleration of dark energies. This is the basic idea of concept of this. Dark energy is also known as vacuum energy because it is the energy density of empty space. So it is known as vacuum energy. Now this vacuum energy has its theory in somewhere in cosmic or space physics, a small definition from where we can derive a better insight into the matter. Now what is dark energy? We have understood it is the vacuum that is created by acceleration of expansion of the cosmic or the universe, okay, cosmic world or the universe. Now in 1917 Albert Einstein hypothesized this vacuum energy or dark energy, and he represented it in his discovery as cosmological constant. Constant, the word constant shows that it is a static energy. Okay, wherever there is a vacuum or darkness or inflation within the cosmos, it is a static position. It can be termed or assumed as the static position. And due to the static position, there is internal friction within, negative friction, which creates this vacuum and the static position. The inflation of the surroundings are accelerated in the universe. This is something which is not very favorable, and to explain in simple language, it is very much against the attractive force of gravity. And generally, the astronomers understand that the universe is not static, but it is expanding, and it is due to this reason that this deficit or this constant, that is why the deficiency, because of the deficiency, it is the static condition is maintained. It is prevailing as yet. So we can also call it weak lensing. Now, what is this weak lensing? The study of the effect of dark energy on large scale structure. Large scale structures are what we are talking about over here, the entire cosmic structures, meteorological structures, the stars, the meteors, these large scale structures. They involve measuring subtle distortions in the shapes of galaxies arising from the bending of space by intervening matter. This phenomena is weak lensing phenomena. Now, some billion of years back, dark energy became dominant in the universe, and because of this weak lensing, it prevented several galaxies and clusters of galaxies from forming. So you can understand this, there's a negativity and there is a tendency to deter development, to deter formation of new things. In cosmological theory, dark energy is generally a class of components in the stress energy tensor of the field equations. The field equations of Einstein's theory of general relativity. So this general class of dark energy, earlier probably by very ancient scientists, it was or the universe, the astronomers, it was absolutely undesirable and of no importance. But recently it has gained momentum and significance also, we can see. Many people are believers of manipulations through dark energy. So that is why we are here today, to scientifically decipher how far this dark energy could accelerate against the force of gravity, because as we can see, science, space physics, or the formulas of physics are clearly telling us that force of gravity is the most important balance of the earth, attractive balance of the earth, and this attractive force, if opposed, would lead to a destructive consequence of inflation of matter. This matter is all about the universe and the cosmos is the outer layer which start inflation, which gains inflated, I would say, momentum. The entire universe starts inflating, in simple language, I mean to say. And in the core comes this dark energy, which is a vacuum. Okay, a vacuum is created in the density of the matter. Now, how is this vacuum created? We have to understand that before we enter into the solution of this problem. Now we have understood that dark energy works or accelerates against the attractive gravitational force of the earth, which is the natural well-being of the existence of earth and its life. So it is something unnatural. So natural versus unnatural. Now, in context, to understand this, we must also accept the fact that every human being has the nature and the entire universe, which is condensed in its condensed form, contained within the human beings itself. Each human being has. That is why they can connect themselves to the cosmos. Whether he is dark, through dark energy is connecting, or through the luminous energy is connecting, doesn't matter. He is able to connect himself because he is a condensed universe factor within himself. So divine masculine, now you have to understand how the space physics outside you is also functioning in a condensed form within you, which is why in philosophy it is said, if you want to know the world well, or if you want to know the universe, you have to know yourself first. Now, how this matter could be solved, this problem of friction? Now what happens is here that both the matter, that is the energy, and the density, that is a positive quantity, and the internal pressure in the matter contribute to a component's gravitational field. Okay, so the gravitational field is comprised of or composed of three things. What are they? Energy, density, that is quantity. Energy is a matter, density is a quantity, positive quantity, and it also consists of space, time. Okay, the space that it occupies and the time by which that space exists. Now, the internal pressure con- contribute to a component's gravitational field. Internal pressure is created out of these the matter, the times, the space time, and the density creates a pressure within. Now from this pressure we can see this a gravitational field that is created out of this matter and the radiation within that matter, and the attractive gravity, the bending of these three ingredients of physics, they create a repulsive gravity which we can call as friction. Now this repulsive gravity through negative internal pressure, there is a negative internal pressure, that is why it is repulsive and frictional. Now if the ratio of the pressure to the energy density is less than -1/3, possibility of this component with negative pressure is there that it will be gravitationally self-repulsive. So please try to understand that there is a level of minus point beyond which a person's negativity will go off to self-repulsiveness. This is because, why I am saying a person's divine masculine, because you are cosmic, because you are attached to the universe very intensely. Though within every human being the universe is operating, but those who are unaware, they cannot be called as divine beings. Those who are divine beings, they are aware of it. So in this aware situation now, if you are operating through the limits beyond, that is -1/3, of the energy density that you have, if it goes down below low energy, they call it, that is negative pressure will be created. Okay. Now if the problem arises, then solve has to also be found, because life depends on problem solving skills, and when problems cannot be solved, I think life is stagnant there. So we can discuss this way, that in order to solve our problem, you see, we have to bring mathematics within. Intervention of mathematics is very important here. And why mathematics? Because mathematics will help you to be calculative. You can see that physics in its own way, either it is beyond control or it is over controlling the universal affair of the beings. So in order to maintain that calculativeness, intervention of mathematics and the values of mathematics are to be brought into it. Okay. The simplest and the oldest explanation of dark energy in such a situation is that the energy density inherent to empty space. Okay, so now according to cosmology, let us come to a very simple explanation, which means inherent empty space. Okay, or we can repeat this. We repeat this, that it is called vacuum energy. Now mathematically, what does vacuum energy equalize to? It is equivalent to Einstein's cosmological constant. So constant word means stagnant. It means static, no progress, no growth, no change, no transformation, no rotation, no revolving, nothing, no motion. This could be termed as a state of vacuum. Now, despite the rejection of cosmological constant by Einstein, Einstein wasn't happy about it, because he found something which was against the gravity later on. And thus the modern understanding of this vacuum was based on quantum field theory, that the vacuum energy arises naturally from totality of the quantum fluctuations and virtual particle or antiparticle pairs. These pairs come into existence together, particle and antiparticles, and they, after existence of up to certain time, they annihilate each other shortly thereafter in empty space. So you can see particle and antiparticles coming together, existing for a short period and annihilating themselves and creating an empty space. This discrepancy mathematically can be termed as 10 to the power of 120, was known even before discovery of the weaker dark energies. So dark energy, once that vacuum is formed, empty space is formed, dark energy has been formed. Hope this much is clear. Now further from here, we will set our eyes upon the solution, that with fundamental solution to this problem, not big achievement has been made as yet, but probabilistic solutions have been posited before, put forward before, motivated by existence of large number of disconnected universes. Now if such things happen, then universes could be disconnected in several ways. We can see this is the reason, being this discrepancy is the reason. Now in this paradigm, we can the unexpectedly low value of the constant. Now here mathematics is intervening, so we can determine the value of the constant now. Okay, at least till now we were seeing it as vacuum, dark energy, it is constant. But now we are able to derive the value of the constant. That means we have a chance to measure how far the darkness has gone or value has degraded. And then we pick up the values for our utilization as tools for development. Okay, that's what this physics is going to explain to you. The ultimately, the unexpectedly low value of the constant will be understood as a result of even greater number of opportunities. That is why, because the universe, because that is the universe. Have you understood? The conflict between the particles and the antiparticles have resulted into formation of various universes. So when mathematics intervene and try to find out the value of this constant, it is found that there are several universes thus has been formed, proving the philosophical fact on the domain of the science that opposition or any kind of failures lead to success. So another popular theory on this in this instant on the context we could talk about is the transient vacuum energy or the potential energy of a dynamical field. Okay, so in a dynamical field where there is a potential energy, substantial energy, illuminating energy, transient vacuum energy results. This transient word is very clear, that this vacuum energy or the dark energy is not permanent, though Einstein got a bit thwarted and alarmed by the fact that it was constant. Now the The dynamical potential energy is known as the quintessence. Okay, now every quintessence will give rise to a vacuum or a dark space time. Okay, this will form an energy, and this energy will give rise to conflicts, internal conflicts, and internal conflicts will lead to separations of universal bodies. Now once the separation has taken place, we can establish the fact that there has been development, there has been more creativity in the galaxy, in the Big Bang. Now it is also similar in mechanism to the scalar field energy. Now scalar field energy I see here is invoked in the inflationary theory of the Big Bang. Okay, scalar theory is also contributing to the inflations of the universe due to the dark energy. Another possible explanation of dark energy is the topological defects. What are these defects? Topological is the Earth's features, the universal features. In the fabric of the universe there are defects, and in case of intrinsic defects in space and time, for example cosmic strings or walls, we have to decide whether this vacuum energy, dark energy, is a string, one-dimensional string, or a two-dimensional wall. That is to be determined. The production of new defects in such case, as the universe expands, is mathematically similar to the cosmological constant in such a case. And although the value of the equation of state of the defects depend on whether the defects are strings, that is one dimensional as I said, or walls, two dimensionals. So depending on the dimension, one or two dimensional, one dimensional or two dimensional, depending on these the nature of these dimensions, the value will change. Now once the value has been deferred, you can see that you can pick up any value, smaller or the bigger ones or the mediocre ones. Any value could be picked up to the development and to meet the formidable challenges in modern physics, to improve you can remove the defects, you can utilize these values. So there have been attempts to modify gravity to explain the cosmological and the local observations without the need for dark energy. That is still underway, under process. It's not been completed. People, astronomers, they're trying to establish the universe without any kind of dark energy, which is yet to come. But these attempts invoke departures from general relativity, you must understand, on scales of the entire observable universe. Now another discussion is here, that is a major challenge to understand accelerated expansion. That expansion of the universe they're talking about, with or without the dark energy, is to explain the relatively recent occurrence of near equality between the density of dark energy and dark density of dark energy and dark matter, even though they must have evolved differently, but there is a near equality ratio among the three. For cosmic structures to have formed in the early universe, dark energy, as I told you, was insignificant component. It was treated as very insignificant, but recently it has developed, it has gained a lot of significance. It has become a matter of discussion, and some group of people have attempted to change the universal laws and become overpower the universal law, I would say. But they don't understand that due to this dark energy, another universe is going to be formed. Another dark universe cannot be formed, but another universe will be formed. So darkness will lead to illuminance, not to another darkness, I'm sorry to say. This problem is known to the scientists, the astronomers, and the cosmology subject dealers. Now we will mention over here about Olbers paradox. Now what is this Olbers paradox? In cosmology paradox, it relates to problems of why the sky is dark at night. So again we are coming to a discussion where darkness at night is being discussed. Now if the universe is endless and uniformly populated with luminous stars, what is going to happen? Then every line of sight will eventually terminate at the surface of a star. What does this mean? That means one star is going to overlap the other. There will be no dark space between them. So the contrary to this observation, that this argument implies that the night sky should everywhere be bright. There is going to be no dark space between stars. This paradox was discussed in 1823 by German astronomer Heinrich. Now you see, if the universe is endless and uniformly populated with luminous stars, uniformly populated, there is no darkness between stars, uniformly populated by stars, okay, then every line of sight will end in another star. There is going to be no dark space. Which will be very frightful for the eyes. So this problem now that has been considered by earlier investigators, it can be traced back in 1610 also, when it advanced as an argument against a notion of limitless universe containing an infinite number of stars. Various resolutions have also been proposed at different times regarding this. Here says, now if the assumptions are accepted, all the says are accepted, then the simplest resolution is that the average luminous and infinite number of stars, that is the average luminous it's a lifetime of infinite number of stars, and their lifetime is going to be very short. Why? Because they're constantly luminaries. There's not going to be any space between them. So darkness, in other words, acts as a space here. And in the context of an expanding universe, what do you have to say about it? It can be argued similarly also. Okay, this expanding universe argument could have the same point of view. The universe is too young for light to have reached the earth from very distant regions. This is what we can think. So too young in the sense we can say that the souls are still learning, in a learning mode. They are too young now to be determined as any different. So in this context, I suppose I was able to make you understand how important it is to take these values calculatively, which come in the form of dark energy, friction, or any kind of oppositions. And if it is an universe or a star, it is definitely going to be luminary. Even if it is separated from due to the dark friction, due to the dark oppositions, it is going to take the shape of another independent luminary, but it cannot be destroyed. So I declare through all these educational planes that universal illuminations can never be destroyed by dark energy. With this, I wish you a very good night, and all my prayers for peace and happiness and winning yourself, the universe within yourself. I extend a prayer in name of God, the Divine, that you acquire lots of power to win the universe within yourself, and then from within you start the journey towards the outer winning. Please subscribe and leave comments in the comment box and press the bell icon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.